We didn't just get a great action set piece to start off the episode, but we got one of the most emotional episodes yet of the show, and my personal favorite so far. Now, I don't know if everyone's going to feel the exact same way, but I absolutely, at one point, I was in tears. At one point, I had a smile on my face, and at other points, I was championing, getting up out of my seat, and cheering on the team. And I'm so excited to hear your guys' thoughts, because it's late at night. It's past midnight for me, but I'm doing this all for you guys. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And if you guys are fans of the MCU, Star Wars, geeky stuff, just in general, I stay up for you guys so we can keep talking about this stuff down below in the comment section. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What theories do you think might happen next week? What did you think about this episode? Which one's your favorite so far? And let's just have all those great conversations down below. And once again, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on content like this over here on a daily basis. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier so far has been that show that, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the first few episodes, like, I enjoyed it, but I feel like it was a little bit of a mosh-posh of certain themes and thematics, and it feels like it was trying to introduce a little bit too much. You know, last week's episode kind of rearranged it, brought me back. I'm like, all right, here we go. We're kind of getting back on the train, and episode 5 cemented that it knows where it's going. Now all I gotta see is how episode 6 goes about. If episode 6 nails it, this show is gonna turn out to be probably one of the best things in the MCU, I think, when it comes to a thematic right. And just how I love WandaVision, and I loved WandaVision's second to last episode, I love this episode to death too, because what it does is, yes, it opens up with that great action set piece that we got between, of course, the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and John Walker himself going at it, which was pretty intense. You know, we, after the aftermath of last week's episode where freaking John Walker smashed that guy's head in, and, you know, everyone recorded it, which we knew would have a lot of stuff, a lot of aftermath to things with the government and all those sorts of rights. That great open action set piece of them, we want the shield, we are taking it back. And seeing how they were just working together and seeing how Bucky and Sam just interact was just fantastic. Kind of threw back to Civil War when it was Iron Man, Bucky, and Cap all facing one another. And it was really intense. This episode, same thing. And just seeing, again, how really much intense it is, because even though I had a feeling Falcon and Sam weren't going to die, I didn't know how much damage they might take in this battle. But one thing they do at the end of the battle, they break John Walker's hand, which was pretty intense because they snapped it off. And honestly, I don't know if I was the only one. Did you guys feel like it kind of threw me back to when they were trying to pull the glove off Thanos? I'm like, where was Bucky and Sam? They needed to be pulling that glove off. They would have gotten that thing off like that. They got that shield off of him. They won the battle, and it continues this downward spiral from there for John Walker, but many other people. So first off, let's get John Walker out of the way. Of course, there was an end credit scene which did show John Walker building his own shield. Big part of that, probably cementing that he will become the full-on U.S. agent next week, which I'm excited to see how that might turn out. But cementing this and kind of going back a little bit to John Walker in general, we see him again facing the government, facing what he did, and pretty much, in a sense, yeah, dude, you did not need to kill that guy. You're lying to, of course, Battlestar's family, of course, Lamar's family, saying that I got him, that's why I did it. He did not do it. Yes, he was a part of the motive, and he works under the person who did it, but that guy looked up to Captain America, my man, and you didn't know, and I think that's where the show kind of hit its stride with thematics, and this episode, again, excelled in that when we got to Isaiah, which we'll talk about in just a second, but kind of finishing off on John Walker, there's this big thing of, he's facing the government, and I am Captain America, I am Captain America. Every time he says that, I'm like, dude, shut the hell up, you were not Captain America to me, you were John Walker, which, again, Wyatt Russell, phenomenal in this role. Phenomenal. Like, absolutely incredible in this role. Top to bottom. Absolutely blows me away each and every time. But even moving again from there, it's like, come on, dude. You're not Captain America. Of course, he's being confronted with his wife. They're having this thing. He's getting nothing. He's pretty much losing out on everything where he's blaming the government. You built me. You built me to be this man. But you took the serum, man. Come on. But this is where this episode goes. There's apparently a big cameo, an important character showing up from an Academy Award winner. Now, while she's not an Academy Award winner, she's freaking fantastic in a lot of things she shows up, and that is Louise Dreyfus, who, if you guys are fans of Seinfeld, that's where I pretty much know her from, where I grew up with her on. She's a fantastic actress, she's funny, and she shows up as Valentine Falcone? No, that's a different person. Valentine Fallon or something, I don't know. Valentine, I've never heard about this character in the Marvel Comics. I actually looked up a little bit of research before this and still didn't ring a bell. Maybe some of you comic book fans can kind of let me know down below. I'm tired of letting these cameos hype me up. I was expecting maybe a Sam Rockwell to show up as Justin Hammer or someone. I don't even know at this point. But showing her up, I was like, oh, Louise Dreyfus. Cool. Let's do it. I don't know who this character is. She's doing something. She's setting something up. I know there's been rumors about the Thunderbolts. Maybe that's where it is. Kind of just felt like, hey, we're setting this up. Don't forget. I guess, I don't know. That was like the one weird thing about the episode. It didn't really like go anywhere. I was maybe expecting, I knew there would be an end credit scene in this one, just like how WandaVision was, but I was like expecting something Miller. Maybe she would be in the end credit scene. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something in the end credit scene. Maybe I missed one. I don't know, guys. It's late at night. But the thing with that is, it adds a little bit of cool perspective to John Walker. And again, Wyatt Russell's just killing the role. We see him building the shield. He gets that closure with Lamar's family, and we kind of know where he's kind of going out. He's coming after the Falcon. He's coming after Sam. He's coming after Bucky, too. And he's also going after Carly. He wants it all. He wants to be Captain America, and that's why he took the serum. He's doing what he can for his country, but not all that he should. Jumping over next, let's jump into Carly's storyline now, because she didn't get too much this week. Even though last week I think we finally got more depth from her, and I think the actress playing her is doing a phenomenal job. I just need more from the Flag Smashers. We're on the last episode next week. I still don't really care about them. I think last week kind of gave me a bigger perspective on them. It feels like something's missing from them. From what I've heard, there are certain things that they cut out due to certain things inside the world. I don't know how true that is, and if you guys want to look that up, please do, because it's actually really interesting. But, again, great acting, great performance, just not the best character development inside there. But, of course, the Leaper, Barton Leaper, comes back from the first episode, and also the guy we saw in Winter Soldier. I want to kill the Falcon. Alright, dude, we already know you're going to get your ass kicked by Falcon himself, or the next Captain America, am I right? But, yeah, whatever. That kind of goes about. The biggest and most important thing for me in here was Bucky and Sam himself. So let's start with Bucky, because I feel like then he kind of correlates to Sam. Going over to Bucky, for me, the big element for him was, of course, going to Zemo and kind of, we know that he was trying to amend a lot of these different things. And that conversation between him and Sam at the end of this episode was really important. And I feel like next week is going to be a big moving for Bucky, kind of getting past that Winter Soldier. And I've seen a lot of theories that maybe he will become the White Wolf, like fully become him after this season. And then that's what we will associate him with, which that would be pretty cool. I'd be down for that. But for me, the thing by this end is, of course, he sees Zemo. They're talking, they have a great conversation. Of course, the Wakandans come in, take Zemo, but he asks them for one more favor. What could that favor be? Automatically, let's jump back over to Sam himself. And again, that conversation with Zemo is great. It's sad that that's how Zemo's going out. Oh well, I'll miss you, Zemo. Jumping over to Sam, though, here's the thing with Sam. This is some of the most emotional stuff. He takes that shield. Where is he going to go? I'm assuming he's going to take it. No, he takes it to Isaiah. We see his grandson, which I saw in the last comment section when we first see the kid. He is supposed to play a character named the Patriot, who's a part of the Young Avengers. That's pretty cool if that comes out to be. But Isaiah is a big part of this. Someone that I thought was a really interesting character to really establish, and someone that I want to dive into more now in the comic books. But this is the themes that I wanted to see about how it tackles race, how it tackles an African-American man taking on the mantle of Captain America, and how that would feel, again, in this time period, and everything that we are living in, and how timely it feels. It's fucking perfect. Excuse my language, but seriously, it's perfect. This whole conversation between Sam and Isaiah was absolutely the best part of the entire show. And in general, the best part of this entire episode. The performances from both, fantastic. The emotion, the little bits of just facial. A lot of things for me is like, yes, you can act out, you can be loud and embrace it, but everything that comes into your face is the most important thing within an acting. And I just felt all that emotion, all that stuff Isaiah was talking about broke my heart. The experimenting, how they treated him, and in general, how he feels about the shield. It's a big moment, and again, kind of gets inside Sam's head. He wanted to give the shield to him and say, you deserve it, but he didn't want it. Which now gets in Sam's head was, do I want this? Do I want the shield? And I think this element is actually a big part of Sam's journey to becoming Captain America. Isaiah has this perspective on America, and so does Sam, But moving part of that, maybe that perspective can change. And of course, he heads home. He talks with his sister. Certain things build about. He calls in some favors. They start building up the boat, which I feel like would have been a great scene to kind of like end the whole entire season when I was watching it. But then as the whole segment ended, I was like, that was perfect. And seeing, of course, Bucky come in to help, he lifts the thing. We knew that was going to happen. He says, hey, delivery from the Wakandans. We know what that is. That's Sam's new damn suit. I'm so freaking excited to see it next week. That's just going to be freaking awesome. Like, oh my god, I can't wait. But other than that, jumping in and just finishing out, the bonding between them both was probably some of the best stuff in this episode. Seeing that discussion between them again, talking about how Falcon's getting real with him. He's like, you need to not avenge, but amend. And I think this kind of goes back to that guy we met in the first episode with Bucky. I think we're probably going to see him next week and seeing how Bucky is amending that relationship and trying to move past the Winter Soldier. There's a lot of cool elements with inside of there that I'm really digging. And just in general, seeing the Falcon himself, Sam, train with the shield, training, and then at the end, opening that thing and smiling. And I'm just like, we're getting it. We're getting new freaking Captain America suit on Anthony Mackie, which makes me so happy because Anthony Mackie is an actor who has worked his ass off in Hollywood, and to see him finally get to this point is just freaking fantastic. I love this episode. I cannot state that enough. Again, there's like little small grievances that I could honestly make with this, but overall, fantastic episode. I know I'm all over the place, but like, this is my reaction. This is how I review stuff. It's like you and me are docking. The other little things that I know we had in here was, of course, you know, Sharon Carter, apparently the power broker. I think that's kind of dumb. It was kind of obvious, but I wish they would have just made a different character. But I guess, you know, thank God I introduced something else. And she called in something, which I'm assuming was with Carly. I don't know. Maybe that correlates. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We'll find out next week. I'm assuming that does. There's so many things that happen inside this show. And again, they introduce so many things. But the thematics remain the strongest part of this entire show. And I'm so happy to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. So make sure again to hit that like and subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on content like this where we talk Marvel every single week. I'm your friend to be here, guys. And I can't wait to read all your comments. I do try to reply back to everyone. So if you got a thought, let's hear about it down below, guys. Thank you once again for clicking on this. Hope you guys get some sleep. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week on the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. See you guys later. Stay classy.